So I've been looking into historical fantasy, alternate history, and other weird fiction related genres to see where some of my stuff might fit, and what tropes people are looking for in those genres that would fit with what I'm doing. And I'm curious what your preference is when you are reading either a fantasy book or a paranormal book or something where it's kind of set in the real world, like urban fantasy, but it's not entirely realistic. I'm curious if you like to have really realistic real world settings and just add in some magic and characters, or if you like to have the entire world made up or take place out of time and not in any real city, say Detroit or something. I have kind of gone back and forth on this for a really long time. You can see it in my early work that's under my name, Laura K. Cowan. There's a lot of more metaphysical writing and more philosophical, even when it fell into, say, paranormal romance or fantasy or paranormal ghost story or something. There's a lot of nature writing, there's a lot of philosophy, stuff like that. So sometimes I would set it in a real world setting, like a real city on Lake Michigan, and those came out more literary magical realism type novels like Music of Sacred Lakes, or I guess Lone Cypress qualifies as well, though that's more romantic. It is paranormal though, and sometimes I'll go, I guess, in the other direction with like more made up characters. Like there's something called The Scent of Yellow Flowers in one of my short story collections under Laura K. Cowan, where this girl is escaping the mob with her mother or something, and she's actually helped by some mice that her father helped years ago, and it turns into this weird, like, they hide them in a different dimension of a safe house so they can't be caught by the mob. But, you know, having either anthropomorphized or life-sized animal characters is something that definitely takes this subject out of the norm and puts it into more like Narnia type high fantasy, even if it's urban. So I've been back and forth on that, and I think I'm settling somewhere in the middle where it's just clearer to the reader by fitting it into romantasy, urban fantasy, or historical fantasy, where like it's a real history, but then there's clearly like a magical thread. I think that might be easier for readers to catch on to what's going on in my crazy brain. So what is your favorite? And if you have any books you'd recommend or authors in this area, could be anything, alternate history, fae, like I don't care. Put them down below. I'd love to get your recommendations.